Sony Spider-Man universe needs to be abolished. It's awful. I think it's absolutely terrible. I think, like, don't get me wrong, like Venom I think is good, but Venom, it's its own series. I don't think that's like a Spider-Man series, if you will. I really like Venom, but Morbius, no, stop it with. Am I the only one that doesn't care about the Sinister Six that much? Like, I don't need to have my own Sinister Six movie, okay? I just don't. I don't care. I'm like the biggest Spider-Man fan out there, and I think the Sinister Six is like the most overblown thing. Spider-Man has fantastic villains, okay? It's not just the Sinister Six. Like, and keep in mind, the Sinister Six is not a. It's not like the Fearsome Foursome Rams, like where it's Lamar Lundy, Rosie Greer, Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones. That's the Fearsome Foursome, doesn't change. Whereas the Sinister Six, there's variations of it. There's like, oh yeah, there's you have your Master of Illusion, Mysterio here. You have Morbius and Venom and Doc Ock and Green Goblin. Like, stop it. Just stop it. You have all these villains. Let me just look up who are the top Spider-Man villains are. Like, I want to see what they would say are the top Spider-Man villains. I have an idea, but I want to see. Okay, so Gamer Rant, Gamer Rant and Screen Rant ranked 22 best villains in Spider-Man history. Number 22, Mr. Negative. I like Mr. Negative. I thought he was pretty good in the video game. If you've never played the Spider-Man video game and you're a fan of Spider-Man, don't know what you're doing, or you probably just don't have a PlayStation, which I guess that's understandable. But Mr. Negative is cool. I dig Mr. Negative. Number 21 is the Jackal. I don't know how well you would really. I'm sure you could make it decent in movies, but yeah. Black Cat, I guess, is somewhat of a. I don't know. She's like Catwoman. She's good. She's bad. She's not bad, but she's kind of a thief. But I don't know if I would call her a villain. Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson, I wouldn't call a villain either. Tombstone is one here where he's 18, and I'm thinking if you put Tombstone in the MCU, that could be something. Albino crime boss. I think he'd look good, and I think he and Hammerhead in a film would work. Hobgoblin, haven't used him. Shocker, they completely butchered Shocker. I love the new trilogy, but the Shocker origin is just like, I don't know. I was not a fan of I really like Shocker as like an enemy, but I'm just not really a fan of what they did with him in the movies. Electro they butchered, but they fixed it in No Way Home. Thank God, he looked great in No Way Home, played by Jamie Foxx. Rhino, all right, people get on the whole Rhino creation in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The only issue that I have is that Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended on the final scene is him battling Rhino. Like, it just cuts to black. That's my only issue. Him being in a Rhino suit, it's like, I don't know what you want. How are you going to CGI a guy into a Rhino suit? Like, I just felt like him being in a that's just one of those ones where it's harder, I guess, to create. I don't know. Maybe the video game did better. Lizard, they made the Lizard look weird. I'm really not a fan of his character design. If they add a Lizard to the MCU, hopefully it looks way better. Chameleon would be very fun as a villain. I really think that would be a good one. He's already been introduced, by the way. I think, what is his name? Sergey? He was one of the guys on the bus in Far From Home. He's already been introduced. Scorpion would be cool if they figure that out. But again, like, we haven't seen him. Craven, I don't know where that's going to go. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson was a weird casting for Craven. I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson. That was kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. We'll see. Morbius, who knows if he ever goes up against Spider-Man. He'll probably go up against Andrew Garfield's, but who knows. Sandman, I think they did Sandman extremely well. Vulture, no complaints there. Mysterio was phenomenal. Venom is great. Carnage was great. Hopefully they add Carnage to the Spider-Man realm. Kingpin, I understand like Daredevil and Kingpin are so attached because of the series, but he's more of a Spider-Man villain than a Daredevil villain. So I hope they finally put him in the Spider-Man universe. Green Goblin is too iconic. And then apparently number one we'll never know because there isn't one. They left out number one, which is something else, let me tell you. To go through that whole list and not have a number one top villain. Oh, it's got to be Doc Ock. Okay, there it is. Yeah. I like Doc Ock's character design, so I'm for it. But there's so many villains, though. Is my point. Like, why would we just focus on the same villains in just a different brand? It doesn't make sense to me.